You're looking at the fact that Europe saw EV orders more than double in the first quarter compared to last year. If you look at 50% growth in orders for lots of EV makers in the United States, 9 of them recording more than 50% year-over-year growth in the first quarter. What is the key factor in making sure that first quarter sales can match what you see in the previous quarter?
Well, first of all, good morning. I'm glad to be here. First, the economy and the industry is on a robust way. We're growing 5% year over year. As you correctly pointed out, the EV segment is slowing down versus previous years. And I think it has to do with the pace of consumer preference and infrastructure. So what we need to focus is that the long-term vision for Volkswagen Group is still electric, but that speed that will take us from point A to the future will be dictated by that speed between consumer and infrastructure. The more infrastructure, the more renewable energy we put into the grid, into the US, the faster that transition will be.
Okay, that makes sense. And we spend a lot of time talking about the lack of infrastructure and what's required to turn that around. Let's talk a little bit about customer preference. What are you seeing in terms of American demand for EVs that makes a difference about whether you're seeing that 50% year-over-year growth from like your competitors, BMW, Cadillac, Ford, Hyundai, Kia, Lexus, Mercedes, Rivian, and VinFast?
So I think, you cannot generalize because the US is as big as a continent. So depending on the city that you go to, you have a higher penetration on electric vehicles because you have a lot more density on infrastructure. But if you go to Middle America, it can be the state of Tennessee where we have a manufacturing facility, or Idaho, or Wisconsin. Maybe the infrastructure there is not ready yet. So you need to understand from the consumer point of view that they're not questioning that technology because the electric vehicle is a great technology. It's really nice to drive an electric vehicle. But maybe in these transition years, it needs some other type of technology that can be a plug-in hybrid, a hybrid vehicle to bridge us from today until the future.
And do you think that that's all up to the U.S. government, or is there something that the auto manufacturers, the dealerships, the service stations could be doing to facilitate that?
Yeah, I think it's everybody's responsibility. First, I'll tell you about Volkswagen Group. We have a company called Electrify America. We're more than doubling our superchargers in the next year. But that's only Electrify America, and that supercharger stations are open to all consumers, all brands. So I think it's a job of us, manufacturers, innovation labs. There are many companies that are bringing new technologies that are faster charging, and also government. It can be federal government, states, local governments. I think the combination of everybody pitching in and putting more infrastructure will help us. Also, I put a lot of emphasis on renewable energy. Our network in Electrify America is 100% renewable because it's no good if you have an electric vehicle and then you charge it via coal or other means that are not renewable efficient. So I put a lot of emphasis on renewable energy, and the Inflation Reduction Act is a great act that intensifies that transition in the next couple of years.
So I assume what you're doing is getting a renewable energy, supplying it to those charging stations, and that closes that loop. Let me make sure I understand. You said that as you double this infrastructure of fast or superchargers, everybody with any kind of electric vehicle will be able to use those facilities. Did I hear you correctly? And conversely, will your automobiles be able to plug into the existing Tesla network of superchargers?
That is correct. So when a consumer, VW, Volkswagen, or any other brand can go to Electrify America and charge their vehicle in our network, they can do a subscription or not. They can go as a one-time. So it's quite open. Also, that dual charging going back to the grid and forth, it is in the works, and we're going to be able to do that in the next couple of years.
How quickly are you going to get to an automobile, an EV, that has more than 400 miles per charge range?
I think it comes to the question of innovation and technology. I think in the U.S. there's a lot of smart people also around the world that brings that closer. We are talking about today's ranges between 300, 320 miles of range, which I think it's pretty good. So I think in the next couple of years, probably before 2030, you will see ranges close to 400. But again, I put a lot more emphasis on the infrastructure and on the renewable energy because that will allow us to move into the transition in a faster way.